working with your higher net worth individual, they got to a point where they know what it means to accumulate wealth. They've got that. They've got that on lockdown. They kind of know what they want to do. They know that they're not going to retire by the traditional sense because sailing off into the sunset is probably not super fulfilling. So that's where the founder, Brian Sweet, and I started working on this platform where we're like, what else can we bring to people? How can we innovate in this industry and create something that goes even deeper? So that's where these 5 pillars that we're talking about were born. It's, the wealth component is obviously the foundational pillar because that's where we came from. That's the industry that we've known. But then you've got things like health and longevity, legacy, purpose, experiences, things that people crave that go even further than just your basic wealth management. So that's really how this new immersive experience was born. And that's really where we're spending a lot of our time and energy to cultivate those experience opportunities for our clients.
I think that that's such an incredible framework and mentality, right? It extends. I think that advisors need to extend beyond just wealth management today, and that's what you're doing. And so I'm curious how you dive into each of those pillars with your clients, right? Wealth makes sense, right? We're going to figure out how to accumulate wealth. Health and longevity, like what does that look like? Or purpose? Is this just questions? Is it like an immersive experience? How do you help them get over that hump to really understand that pillar?
Yeah. When people get to a certain point, what we found is that they no longer are maybe driven by money, by the accumulation of money, I should say, but they're driven by access to these different kind of areas where they're going, okay, maybe I haven't been the greatest about focusing on my health up to this point because I've put everything else in front of it. Purpose. People don't always take the time to really think about, why am I on this earth? And I'll just use this example. Take somebody who has owned a business for the last, call it 40 years. They get to the point where they have a liquidity event, they sell their business, they get away from it. And what happens is a big portion of their identity tends to go with that business. So they haven't taken the time to say, well, who am I? What do I want to do? Why am I on this earth at this point? Because now I'm not waking up every day to run a team, run a business, run an operation. Now I'm pivoting and I don't really know what I'm doing. So what we've done is we don't by any means want to be experts in each of those different fields. But what we have done is tapped into our network, our entrepreneurial network, and we've cultivated some of the top talent from all of these different sectors to be able to bring those people to the clients or, non-clients, maybe prospective clients down the road. So again, for us, when we're looking at wealth management, it's life management, right? Like if you don't have your health, then the money that you saved all these years really doesn't matter. And if you don't have a purpose and a legacy that you're living for and moving towards, then both without the health and the wealth dynamic kind of tied together, you're really not going to care about either one because you don't have anything to move you forward. So that's why we just saw this massive gap and massive ultimately opportunity to bring experts from all these different areas and really create this very cohesive, collaborative experience.